Nashville Public Library presents Storytime with the professor. That's me. Gotta take my glasses off so I can do some juggling. Oh, here's my juggling stuff. Wonderful. Are you ready to get started? Okay then. Sing along if you know it. Here we go. It's a great day to make some new friends. It's a great day to make some new friends. Are you ready for some games and fun to sing and read? We've just begun. It's a great day to make some new friends. It's a great day to make some new friends. It's a great day to make some new friends. Are you ready for some games and fun to sing and read? We've just begun. It's a great day to make some new friends. Hello everyone. I'm the professor from the Nashville Public Library, but we're doing story time in my house today. Behind the camera is my daughter Rainer. Hey Rainer!
Hi Rainer!
Hi Rainer! Okay, let's start with the name game. Let's do Rainer first. It goes just like this. Rainer, Rainer, Bobainer, Banana, Fana, Bobainer, me, my, Mo, Mainer, Rainer. Okay, next we have Hunter. Hunter's been watching a bunch of times. All right, excellent. Wonderful. We can do Hunter, can't we? Sure. Come on, gang, let's just try it. Here we go. Hunter, Hunter, Bo Bunter, Banana, Banana, Bo Bunter, me, my, Mo, Munter, Hunter. Okay, we need one more name. Lisa. Lisa, who's been watching? All right. All right, now we're going to do Lisa. Here we go. And the name game. Nice and loud. Lisa, Lisa, Bobisa, Banana, Fana, Fofisa, me, my, Mo, Misa, Lisa. Marvelously marvelous. Here we go. It's a great day to make some new friends. It's a great day to make some new friends. Are you ready for some games and fun to sing and read? We've just begun. It's a great day to make some new friends. Alrighty then. How many know the game Simon Says? Can you play Simon Says? Because we have a game just like it. It's called Professor Says. Same rules, only when I say Professor Says, so listen close. Professor Says, clap your hands 3 times. Professor Says, slap your knees 4 times. Now everybody raise your hands really high. I didn't say Professor Says, Rainer. Don't raise your hands. No, no. Professor Says, say a big hello.
Hello.
I didn't say a tiny hello. I said say a really big hello. Professor Says, say a big hello, Rainer. Here we go.
Hello.
That's right. It's a great day to make some new friends. It's a great day to make some new friends. Are you ready for some games and fun to sing and read? We've just begun. It's a great day to make some new friends. Yow! There we go. Always a great day to make some new friends. And I have a new friend I want you to meet. Let's get him on the computer. How about it?
You're walking along, humming a song, when you see your best bud coming by. You both come to a halt. By the way, his name is Walt. He gives you a smile. So what do you say? Say hi, say hi. Just open your mouth and let it out. Say hi, just say hi, say hi. You're introduced to Uncle Jake, who's brought banana cake. Ooh, someone new is looking you in the eye. He puts out his hand to shake it. You've got manners, so you take it. He smiles at you. So what do you say? Say hi, say hi. Don't sit and pout, let the word come out. Say hi, just say hi, say hi. Now Phineas is my name. And I love to play a game of hide and seek or catch or I spy. So the next time that you meet me, you will know just how to greet me. I'll smile at you, you'll smile at me, and then what'll we say? That's right, hi, say hi. We'll open our mouths and let it out. Say hi, just say hi, say hi. Say hi, just say hi, say hi. You just gotta say hi.
So that was from The Show Me Show, which you can find on YouTube. And now let's show the man behind The Show Me Show. Everybody say hi to Noel MacNeal.
Hello, folks. Thanks
Hello,
for tuning
sir.
in.
How are you?
Hello.
It's great to see you, and it's great to have you here with Storytime with the Professor today.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes. Now, where are you located?
I'm in New York. I'm in the borough of Brooklyn.
Okay,
So,
and you grew up in Brooklyn, right?
no, I actually grew up in Central Harlem.
Oh,
in
okay.
Manhattan.
Oh, in Harlem. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
And then moved to Brooklyn with my wife. Where
You moved
my
to
wife, author Susan Elia MacNeal of the Maggie Hope series from
Oh.
Penguin Random House.
Okay, great.
Yes. We'll plug
Wow.
more books. Yes. So she's
Books.
available on Amazon, and she just handed in book number 10, which is coming out next summer called The Hollywood Spy.
Okay.
So check it out.
Hollywood Scott. Okay, we'll check it out. Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, you have been a puppeteer for many years and a writer and a producer and all sorts of things. And the Show Me Show is your show. And here you are with the star of the show.
Yes, it's Phineas. He's one of the 3 puppets that I would be starring in. So I started this because of the fact that I got a lot of fan emails from people who grew up with this other show I worked on called Bear in the Big Blue House. And a lot of the parents were parents of kids with autism and special needs. And they said that their kids today still watch the show on DVD or the videotapes that they still have. And I realized there was no show like Bear anymore or Mr. Rogers, something just very gentle and genuine and sincere.
Right.
So, and I know for a fact that networks aren't going to do it. So I decided I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so I created the show, and it's on YouTube. So it's like little videos, but ultimately I want it to be a series
Right.
for kids with autism, and especially. So there's Phineas right now, who was built by my friend James Voital Jr., who you can follow on Instagram and Twitter. James does amazing puppets. And there will be 2 more puppets. There'll be Phineas's sister, Taylor, and then there'll be Nona, who's a yak, and she'll be a big like walk around. What's it called? A walk around puppet.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So down the line at some
Down
point,
the line.
when
All
the
right.
show when the show gets the almighty dollar to do it properly. Until then, we do little videos with Phineas and other puppets that I have.
You're making it work. You're making it work.
Trying, yes.
Great. Yes. Well, you have such a wonderful career in puppetry. I'm just going to run through a few things. You've done a lot more than this, but I have a few pictures that I found. Here you are. And what show is this?
This was Ubi. This was back in the early aughts. And it's a character I was doing named Keiko. And basically the puppets for Ubi were our hands with glass eyes on top. And the characters only spoke in 1 or 2 words at a time.
Oh.
So Keiko would say, you, and like point, Ubi, friends, perfecto. Mwah. It's like, that's it. It's like, this was the puppet.
Right.
And if you're lucky, kids, they will pay you to do this.
Well, here's some other puppeteers.
Yeah, that was the my co-stars. So on the left is Tim Lagasse. He was the star. He was Ubi. And then Stephanie DeBruzzo of Avenue Q fame. She was Ubi's sister named Uma. And then that's Tyler Bunch, who I've worked with on Bear in the Big Blue House. And Tyler's character on Ubi was Grandpoo, who was the grandfather. And then I was their best friend, Keiko.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, wonderful. Now here's another show we'll all remember. Eureka's Castle.
Yeah, that premiered in 1989. And that was my character, Magellan. He was my first like starring role character. So and a walk around. Well, not well. He's a full body puppet. And so that means you wear the puppet, but he's not a costume. He's a puppet.
Right.
And so everything I learned from my mentor, Carol Spinney, who I worked with on Sesame Street, I applied to Magellan. And that's Carol. Carol created Big Bird and Oscar on Sesame Street. And that was the first season of doing Bear in the Big Blue House. And so we were upstairs from Sesame Street. So Carol and his wrangler, the person that dressed him, snuck Big Bird upstairs. And so Big Bird and Bear got this great picture together. But because Carol wears Big Bird's legs like a pair of pants, he didn't have them on. He had his jeans. So it would look kind of weird for a Big Bird to be having jeans on. So we did it behind the couch. So you see Bear and Bird from like the waist up. And it's this great picture that at the time they could never use publicly because it was like two different brands and two different companies. And so, but for us, it was like, it's a wonderful moment. For me, it was just like this great blessing. From
fantastic.
Carol.
Yeah, and speaking of Sesame Street, I have this wonderful picture.
Yeah, that was from the last year, from the 50th anniversary, because Sesame Street actually is starting season 52. And so, yeah, that was last year, the 50th anniversary special that was hosted by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who was like one of the nicest guys. He had a blast.
Okay, wonderful. And you write and direct for Sesame Street as well.
Yeah, it's like I started off as the wrangler, taking care of Big Bird and Carol and making sure the other puppets were camera ready. And then I transitioned to being a background puppeteer and an assistant. And then I occasionally go back because, you know, Sesame Street's been around so long. So it's like occasionally I go back and do other stuff. And I've been like every Snuffleupagus relative you can think of. And I'm like the backup Big Bird for like photo shoots and occasionally for like the parade or anything. Yeah, so it's like, and then last year, Big Bird did this huge road trip across the United States. And so and it was like 10 cities, and I did 7 of the 10 cities. And then Matt Vogel, who's now Big Bird, dubbed in his voice over my version. But then I got to direct a segment for it, the Chicago segment. So I can add directing to my little roster. And I directed for Sesame Street. Yay.
So much stuff. Yeah, terrific. Now this picture came up today, and my daughter went crazy. Between the Lions.
How old is your daughter?
She's 22.
Okay, so she would remember Between the Lions. Yeah, that's Lionel. Between the Lions was a show that promoted reading, and it took place in a library. And the main characters were the parents, a lion and a lioness named Theo and Cleo. And then their kids were a girl cub named Leona, and then the boy was Lionel. And so I took over Lionel for the last 2 seasons of Between the Lions. And what's key is before that, Lionel had this different kind of like a cap that had all these buttons on it, and kind of like a rugby shirt. When I took over, they changed it so that Lionel had a baseball cap, and then he had this jersey. It had the number 42, and the reference was Chris Surf, who is one of the creators of the show, always loved Douglas Adams, and I think he actually met Douglas Adams once. And so the reference is like 42, which is, you know, the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Right. Hitchhiker's Guide to the
As well as
Universe.
Jackie Robinson's number, but that's like another thing.
Yeah, layers. Now here, speaking of books,
Rabbit.
Famous character from Winnie the Pooh, and this is from Book of Pooh.
Yeah, this is for a Disney Channel, which is now on Disney Plus, so you can actually see it. And it was puppet versions of the cartoon version of the Disney ones that we all know, and it was done against a green screen, and it was done with the style of puppetry from Japan called bunraku. So I was the head of Rabbit. I would put my hand in his head and then hold a stick near his butt to make his body move. And then Paul McGinnis would be behind me, and he would do the hands and had these little triggers where he could like flip the wrists. And then Matt Brooks, who actually built Rabbit, he was the feet, and actually would do the feet. So we would have to coordinate our actions to make sure a rabbit could stand and then turn and walk or jump or like run. And then we would have tracks from the voice talent of the show. So I would lip sync to what Rabbit's voice was, because
Who's doing the rabbit?
there was a test, and there was like a little like 10-minute test, and they showed it to kids and they showed it to the parents. And one version was the puppeteers doing the voices of the characters, and then the other test, the same scene, was us lip syncing to the voiceover actors doing it.
Right.
And the kids didn't care. They loved both versions of it. But the moms who saw our version said, "Oh, that's not how I remember Pooh sounding."
Well,
And so Pooh, so we got to keep that brand going. So
yeah.
he sounds the same.
Right. Here's another show, The Puzzle Place.
Yes, that was from the mid-90s, and that was shot in KCET Los Angeles, and a co-production with Lancet Media, the producers of Reading Rainbow. And it came about because of the Rodney King riots.
Oh, wow, really?
Because they had pitched the show and it didn't catch on. But then the summer of the Rodney King verdict and the riots, there was this, and because they happened in Los Angeles, that's when KECT went back and said, "Look, we want to produce this show about respect and tolerance and understanding and empathy of other cultures, but you got to do it here in Los Angeles." So me and the other puppeteers went to Los Angeles, and we lived out there. And the first season, we lived out there and it was right after the Northridge earthquake. So we didn't go through the earthquake, but we went through, for a couple of weeks, we went through aftershocks. So all of a sudden, we would just like hear this like bang or just feel something. And the LA people were like, "Yeah, that's an aftershock." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Wow, that's incredible. What a great story. And of course, here's the big one. Bear, this is you.
Yes.
And you were the bear in the big blue house.
Well, I was the man in the bear. And
you were the man in the bear. Okay, yes.
Right. And this is a puppet version of Bear. So it's a puppet of a puppet.
Okay, right.
And that was also built by James Voital, because James also was one of the builders of Bear, and he was one of the people who built Bear's head. Yeah. So this came about because of my friend Paul McGinnis, who I mentioned before. He was getting married to puppeteer Haley Jenkins. And just for the record, we all don't marry puppeteers. It's like Susan is not a puppeteer. She is an accomplished writer. Again, her books are available on Amazon. Paul and Haley were getting married, and Paul asked that I perform like a song at their reception from Bear, because Haley was one of the puppeteers for the Bear show that was at the Disney MGM Studios. And so I was like, okay. Then I thought, it really doesn't mean much, me standing up there as myself, just like singing. So I thought maybe I could make a puppet of Bear. And so I found this fur, and I got it all together. And then I kept, when it came, I kept texting James that day. He's like, "Okay, how do I do this? How do I do that?" And I just kept asking him all day, to the point where he finally said, "No, just send me the fur. I'll do it. It's just easier. Just give it to me." And so I sent it to him. And then the day of the wedding, he came by the hotel room and knocked on the door and gave me the bag, and I opened it, and that's what he did. And I was just floored that he actually did, not only did it, but it's just amazing. He actually cast the nose the way they used to cast Bear's nose, and it's just gorgeous. So it's kind of like, so people are like, "Was that really Bear?" And I said, "No, this is a puppet of Bear." So if Bear himself were stuck in the dryer, this would be like, shrunk down to 3/4 of his size. So this is it. So
wow. And folks who are watching, if you've never seen Bear in the Big Blue House, it is one of the best children's shows ever. It is so great.
Yeah, pretty much my resume is most people's childhood memory. So everything I've mentioned, you can find some of it on YouTube, which is like the video dresser drawer of the world. You can just type in anything, and like suddenly there it is.
Right, of course, yeah. Now, speaking of books, you also have written books. Here we go. Yes. 10-minute puppets.
Yes, this was my wife's idea. Susan said to me, "You know how to be a puppeteer. You know how to be a dad. Why don't you put them together and show people how easy and inexpensive making puppets can be?" Right. Because you don't always have to buy it. You can actually make it. But she said, "Make it for people like me. I am not crafty, and you are not married to Martha Stewart." So that's why I would do certain projects from the book, and I would show it to her, and she would look at it and just say, "Simpler." and just hand it back.
Right.
And this was
Another one.
and this was like my follow-up book called
Yeah.
Box, and it was like the same thing because we would get like all this cardboard coming in. Here in New York, we have this delivery service called Fresh Direct, and so you can order groceries online and they bring it to you. And at that time, they would have boxes, and so my son would often ask me to like make things out of boxes. And I remember one time he said, "Dad, can you make me a pretend fireplace?" And I was like, "Why?" He said, "For my pretend fire." I was like, "Oh, of course." And that's when it made me get this idea of like all the stuff I was making for him. Maybe that would be a book. So there's all the cardboard boxes, postcards, even old like birthday cards, milk cartons, shoe boxes, cereal boxes. And what's great about Box and 10-Minute Puppets is that in the back there are templates that you can cut out. And if you run out of the templates, you can go to my website, noelmacneal.com, and you can download the templates again and keep going. So don't feel like you have to preserve the book. So
That's
this
outrageous.
book is meant to be used for
Wonderful.
years to grow up,
Right.
especially like 10-Minute Puppets is the book that you kind of grow up with. So it starts off very simple. And then there's always the little, if you have more time or if you want to do something more with this, then there's like the advanced thing you can add to it. And throughout 10-Minute Puppets is all this advice from my puppeteering colleagues. So the foreword is written by Jerry Nelson. Now, a lot of you don't know who Jerry Nelson was, but you know what Jerry did. Jerry was the Count on Sesame Street. He was Floyd in the Muppet Show. He was Gobo Fraggle on Fraggle Rock. And he's done all these characters for the Jim Henson Company. And he wrote the foreword for it. And throughout the book, there's a little advice about doing voices, developing stories, developing character, and pretty much just having fun from puppets. And it's from all people like Frank Oz, who I know, and Frank actually gives advice about crafting a story for puppets.
Right. Yeah, all those great puppeteers from American puppetry history, and you're part of that too, Noel. And folks, kids, if you're interested in puppetry, here's some good resources. Puppeteers of America, you can sign up and learn about puppetry. Also, Unima USA. And then, folks, I want to remind you again about the Show Me Show. Go to YouTube, look up Noel MacNeal, the Show Me Show, and sign on and watch. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. It's all great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's all great. It's all wonderful. Of course it is. And then you were telling me you also have a podcast.
Yeah, I started doing it's amazing what you'll come up with when you're locked down and not allowed to go outside because of a plague. So I was trying to keep myself busy. And this came about because of the fact that my son, who's 15, now going on 42, I don't read bedtime stories anymore. And so I kind of missed that. So I started this podcast of where I just like read stories, like classic fairy tales and fables and chapters from different books. And it's available on like Spotify and Anchor and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. And it's been fun. And my friend who helps edit it is my friend Nate Beagle, who's a puppeteer. And he also has his own company, natebeagle.com. So for all audio and editing needs, plus he teaches voiceover classes to kids. So if you're ever interested in learning how to do voiceover work, go to natebeagle.com and Nate can show you how.
Yeah. Well, great. So we need to know also Noel's Book Nook podcast, the Show Me Show. Your wife has all these books. You have all these books.
Yes, my wife's book. My wife's series, the Maggie Hope mystery series, and the first book is called Mr. Churchill's Secretary, and it's great. It's an amazing series of books, and it takes place during it's historical fiction. It takes place during World War II, with this young American who is in London and becomes Mr. Churchill's secretary, and the adventures that he has of espionage and preventing an assassination plot, and then the further adventures with each book after that. And now book number 10 is coming out next summer, The Hollywood Spy.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a great series. I highly recommend it.
Wow. There is so much stuff. Like we could go on and on and on and on. It is so impressive, and it is so wonderful to talk to you.
Thank you.
Really an honor.
This has been so much fun. Thank you, and
Good.
thank you.
It should be
for
fun.
tuning in. It should be fun. It's puppets. Come on,
It's supposed to be
it's puppets. It's puppet show. I always tell people, like, when I would do demonstrations at libraries and schools for my book, I would say, like, what's the puppet you have all the time? And kids would say different answers. Like, one kid would say, my dog, or another kid said, like, my foot. And then 2 different locations, 2 different times, a kid said, my parents. And I said, no, but that's related to puppetry. That's called manipulation. But no, it's like this. This is the puppet you have all the time. And I tell everybody, put your fingers together, hold them flat, tuck your thumb under. It's like, there. This is Elmo naked. Oh, no. Yes.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining Storytime with the Professor today.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for this.
Great to chat, and we're going to check out all your stuff and follow you online. And again, thank you. And
Thank you.
So now
Thank
let's see what.
Stay safe.
Yes, be safe. And speaking of puppets, let's see what JJ the Lamb has for us today.
Hi. Did you hear? I'm looking outside. It's very bright outside. It's bright, but it's winter time, so it's very cold. It's cold outside. It's the season of winter, Yeah. There's a season of summer, and there's a season of fall, right, Cat? And there's a season of spring. And in the season of winter, it's cold a lot of the time. Yeah. Here's a nursery rhyme about it. The north wind doth blow, and we shall have snow. And what will poor Robin do then? He'll sit in the barn and keep himself warm, with his head tucked under his wing. Cat, can you tuck your head under your wing? Or your paw? I can't. Hey, can you do it? Do it with me. His head. What are you doing, Cat? Oh, okay. Now, tuck your wing. Tuck your head under your wing. Tucking. Spread the love, everybody. Stay healthy and stay warm. Mwah! You want to go out there, Cat? We'll need our hats and our masks.
Thank you, JJ. All right, gang. It's time to make a rainbow. Get your markers, get your crayons, get your piece of paper, and let's see what we have today. Let's make a rainbow, a rainbow, a rainbow. A beautiful rainbow so high in the sky. Everyone, let's make a beautiful rainbow with favorite colors. Come on, let's try. What's our first color gonna be?
Purple.
Purple. All right then. Let's start with purple. Here we go. Purple is a color that's found in a rainbow, a beautiful rainbow so high in the sky. Everyone, let's make a beautiful rainbow with favorite colors. Come on, let's try. All right, what else?
Pink.
Pink. Pink is a good choice to go with purple. Nicely done. Pink is a color that's found in a rainbow, a beautiful rainbow so high in the sky. Everyone, let's make a beautiful rainbow with favorite colors. Come on, let's try. How about another color, Miss Rayner?
How about red?
How about red? Here's some red right here. Okay then. Red is a color that's found in a rainbow, a beautiful rainbow so high in the sky. Everyone, let's make a beautiful rainbow with favorite colors. Come on, let's try. Oh, that looks so good, the red and pink and purple. What next, Miss Rayner?
How about orange, Mr. Professor?
Orange is a color that's found in a rainbow, a beautiful rainbow, so high in the sky. Everyone, let's make a beautiful rainbow with favorite colors. Come on, let's try. Okay, I need 2 more colors. What's it gonna be?
Yellow?
Yellow. Yellow, here we go. Yellow. Yellow is a color that's found in a rainbow, a beautiful rainbow, so high in the sky. Everyone, let's make a beautiful rainbow with favorite colors. Come on, let's try. Boy, that's looking great. 1 more color, Miss Rayner.
How about green?
How about green? All right then, let's do green. Here we go. Green is a color that's found in a rainbow, a beautiful rainbow so high in the sky. Everyone, let's make a beautiful rainbow with favorite colors and a whole lot of fun. A beautiful rainbow high in the sky. La 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 la. There you go. That is a marvelous rainbow. So beautiful and so easy to do. All you need is markers, crayons, your imagination, a piece of paper, and bang, there you go. Well, I want to thank you all for coming this week. I'd like to thank the Nashville Public Library, that's where I work, and do puppet shows thanks to this fella, Tom Tishner. He started doing puppet shows way back in 1938. And the reason we have puppet shows today, I'd like to thank our visitor puppeteer, Noel MacNeal. Wasn't he terrific? And what a great guy he is. I'd like to thank JJ the Lamb for joining us, and Dave Patton for writing the Rainbow Song, and it's a great day to make new friends. And I'd also like to thank my daughter Rayner for taking me every week and doing such a wonderfully wonderful job. Thank you, Miss Rayner. And I'd like to thank you for joining us. Come back again next week and see us again. Bye-bye.